I challenge any productive man that you stop paying those bills. You stop taking care of those expenses. Or even how about this? You walking in a park with your lady and somebody's bothering her and you don't stand up like a man and defend her and take pride in your manhood, your masculinity. Every day you have to get up and face the world and take on the burden of performance. Try not paying your mortgage, expenses, getting cars repo while you're sitting there as a man. Your days is numbered. So what I tell men on this channel is to fall in love with peace and performance. That's what love looks like to me, because love performs. Love is sacrificial. Period. It gets the job done. It's not just sitting around living in our feelings and emotion. Reality doesn't care about that. What matters is, are you getting smiles on your face? If it's not putting a smile on your face, I'm not talking outside of any, extraordinary circumstances. People get sick, things happen in life. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about ordinary existence in everyday life where people try to give you mediocrity. Because in this particular culture, if you listen to any woman talk on the internet, any woman talk, everything she is one common theme. Me, I, take, want, take, what you can do for me. Because that's all they've been taught. That's all they've been raised to, especially now in the West with this radical feminist ideology and mentality. I'm not talking about the 10% or the 5% woman out here that wants to bring value, that take care of those who take care of them. But in most situations, you don't really build equity with women, modern women. Women are not men. You could do something for a man, he remember you, or he'll say, yo, I remember you got me back in the day. I'm gonna pay that favor or something. Women don't work like that because, that which feels like that's what's an entitlement, don't earn you any score. Because as soon as some of these women get in their emotions, you can have done everything possible and she will turn on your ass. So getting back to the topic of life is this. You got to fall in love with peace and performance, period. Because the reality of life is this. If the shoe is on the other foot, what will happen to your life? And your life itself, if you don't be proactive in protecting your health, your finances, your mental health, nobody else is going to take care of you like you, especially as a man in this gynocentric environment today in the West. Nobody gives a rat's ass about how you existing in a home and relationship or what you're going through psychologically and mentally. So the minimum thing you should be able to do is to come home to your house and be living in peace and live. If you're with a woman, she absolutely should be pouring into you as much as you're pouring into her, and sometimes even more. And if not, what the hell are you doing over there? And I always put the smiles calculator. Are you putting a smile on my face? And that's what men got to get to. If it ain't putting a smile on your face, especially for you older dudes, what the hell are you doing? Old dudes like me, 50 years old, I'm 51 years old. If it ain't putting a smile on your face, what are you doing? Today is the youngest you'll be for the rest of your life. What are you wasting your time around? I don't care how good a broad look. Eventually, if she's not bringing peace to your life, she's going to become the most ugly human being on the planet. Wherever you see some fine ass woman walking by you, she look good, her ass is, and you're like, oh, your testosterone level jumps. There's some dude somewhere that can't stand her ass. And he's like, ugh. Because she's become insufferable. Insufferable to him. And you see these women all the time, they're walking around, they look good, they have either done two things. Either they've got with somebody that their parents and everybody else tell them that dude ain't right, or they got aroused by, or they've got with some regular, good, honorable man, and they have literally disrespected their way out of a relationship. Or they got bored, FOMO, and thought there was something better than the dude that committed to them and married them. So when you see these leftover women, You know the whole bunch of bullshit. And some of them are just batshit crazy. Need to be on meds. And they're gonna bring that shit to your life. And in this gynocentric environment, they think that they're doing you a favor. You a favor. Why should they perform for you? Most of them were not even raised to take care of men. They were raised that men should be giving them money and resources. Most of them are raised to despise men and think that men are just evil based upon feminist ideology and that color purple narrative. So they have no intention of giving you fair exchange. They're in their mindset, they're queens and they should be provided for and taken care of, and everybody should just bow down to them, and life is all about them, and then relationship is all about them. That's what they think. So you going to work every day and facing your challenges in life and struggling and fighting and just doing everything to survive. If you can't come home and you're dealing with, sexless relationship, or not even sexless. What happens with a lot of sexless relationship is that the woman becomes so insufferable, she creates automatic ED, noodle dick. I call it noodle dick syndrome, where the guy just deals with her. She is so insufferable that even if he has good, healthy testosterone, his meat shrinks. Because he's like, oh, hell no, I ain't having sex with that woman. Because either she's become so masculine and her harassment and henpecking and what is that? What is these guys dealing with? If they tolerate it, I don't understand it, because I live here in peace, and that's why I wake up with so much energy in the morning, and I talk so freely, and I enjoy myself in life. This morning I get up, I take care of the business things I need to take care of. Up early in the morning, I'm excited about life, because nobody's breaking my balls. I won't allow them in my environment. I don't live with women. I've lived with women for the past almost 20-something years. Trust me, I've had enough experience living with women. That's probably why I don't have any more here, but that's a whole nother story. Anyhow, and I don't care how masculine you are. I don't care how masculine. A male lion cannot coexist with a hyena. What most of the women are today is feminists, which I call feminist hyenas. They're not raised to be under the leadership of men. You may be able to keep them in check for a year or two, but sooner or later, they're going to come and try and clip your balls, because that's what the culture is telling them. That's what their girlfriends is telling them. That's what their mindset is telling them. That's what their nature is telling them, that anytime they fall into your leadership, they're subjecting themselves to abuse. Serving you is like being back to the 1920s oppression, and you're the oppressor of women, and you're the evil patriarchy, and they're fighting against that. It's a constant situation where in time she may be behaved, but or chilling or whatever else, but many times they turn into their feminist nature. Once they get the government, the state, or they feel a sense of security and comfort, the idea of looking out for you or providing fair exchange and value is gone. Now that she has just become a pest, and the performance goes down, you see? But your bills and your expenses and your performance as a man must remain at a standard. You must always try and be better version of yourself as a man. So why would you be working hard, busting your ass to come home to a load, something that does not perform? It just sits there. It irritates, agitates, aggravates, causes ED and noodle dick, and causes pure irritation to the point where you're sitting in the park for 2 hours staring at the pond, looking at all the free single. That's why, let me tell you something. I don't even take complaints from single men in terms of listening to their story. I listen to married men. Married men are the ones that are the real problem. I'll be telling single, go kick rocks. Get yourself some hobbies, some passion. You're single and free. You go to a damn brothel and put a smile on your face. Get the hell out of here, dude. Get lost. Kick rocks. You're single ass, you free bastard. Kiss my ass. I'm not hearing no loneliness shit. If you got money and you single and you free, you're not the one with the problem. The married dude got the problem. That's why his ass is on OnlyFans. Got a wife paying all them damn bills and jerking off in the dark. That's real suffering. You're single ass. You free. Kick rocks, you single, lonely motherfucker. Kick rocks. I'm single. I ain't got no damn problem. Look at me. I'm chilling here. 51 years old. All the freedom in the world. I could go and go get 20 whores if I wanted to keep my company. I don't give a rat's ass if I have to pay them or whatever else. I'm free. You don't got a real problem. I don't hear single loneliness. Maybe you have a financial problem. If you're broke, that's something totally different. Not broke. If you broke, F these women. You need to go get some money so that you can live a quality life for you. You, not women. What can you do without money? You can't fix your car. You can't travel. You can't pay for the things you enjoy in life. So that's a totally different story. If I'm broke, I don't even give a rat's ass about no women. I need to go get me some money. You know, sex ain't nothing but a memory. Some of it, not so great a memory, but that's a whole other story. I got too many videos to make, you know what I mean? I think about it for a second. But next year, I'll probably be changing a little bit of this content. You know, leave the simps alone. Leave the 304s alone. More enlightening conversations, I guess. But performance. I am in love with peace and performance. That's why I call myself a peaceful sexual. Peace is beautiful to me. Peace gets me aroused. That's how much I'm into peace. You disturb a woman, I don't give a rat's ass what she looks like. If she disturbs my peace, that bitch is gone. Automatic ED. Automatic irritation. Automatic. She's gone. You only have one life to live. You only have one life to live. Who the hell is going to hitch themselves to a miserable broad? Unless you just have some low self-esteem and you're absolutely insane. The type of suffering that I see men go through, when I look at the women, I'd be like, what is wrong with you? Look at her. And I think that's what is to happen in the culture. Just beating down the self-esteem of men. Every day beating down this stuff. That's why it's like hard for me to do these reaction videos, because it raises your cortisol level. If I'm a peaceful life, how am I going to raise your cortisol level? Now, what am I doing for you? I'm not doing you any purposes to show what? Female nature. Some of these women are insufferable. What do we need to repeat it and regurgitate it over and over again? So the question is, what are you going to do? And that's why I talk about the software upgrade. What are you going to do on the chessboard? You're a man. You see the culture. You see the environment. The only thing that's going to change this environment is strategic discomfort. When dudes just stop marrying 304s, stop taking women on dates, especially when you know they're getting vigorously, viciously pounded out at night. Stop spending money. And you married dudes, you married simps, get off of OnlyFans. Get off of OnlyFans. At least the tricks, they put their hands on something. Stop. Never mind. I'm not going to go off on those dudes. But anyhow, this is where we're at in terms of masculinity, manhood in this culture. You have to be proactive. Nobody's going to take care of you. Nobody gives a rat's ass about you. If you come home every day to a miserable broad and she not draining the poison, having sex with you, draining your balls, looking out for you, taking care of you, putting a smile on your face, and you're paying all those bills and you're a good guy and whatever else, you need to change. She's not going to change. The culture is not going to change. You need to change. You better start taking care of yourself like you're a single guy. Not necessarily out here running and getting the gym, getting your money right, and finding peace and happiness somewhere else without even complaining to her. Because nothing looks more arousing than a man that don't give a rat's ass and not are sitting around at the end of some bed or trying to negotiate his way into some box from some load at his house. A man who looks empowered, free thinking, free moving in his life. Who has time for that? Life is too short. Anyhow, I got to get up and get ready. I got coffee going and get my day started. Gentlemen, hey, look, just wanted to bring you an inspiring message today. Take care of yourself. Fall in love with peace and performance. Then you won't have any problem with these women. Because when they don't provide peace and they don't perform, if they don't have any medical problem, they're not having a mental issue or whatever, their asses need to be on the clock. Because the replacement is somewhere. This is a big world. It's a big world for a motivated man. Their replacement is somewhere. And that's the problem with a lot of these women. They feel like they're irreplaceable because most of the guys out here make them believe they're irreplaceable. And that's the only thing they understand is power and strength and replacement. This, what I'm talking right here, is fucking air. Excuse me, I don't curse. It's air. Talking to them is wasted. They understand options, power, replacement, indifference. That's the only thing they eat. That's the only thing they respond to. That's why they're upset now by the dating market. Because dudes are not spending their money and they're not taking them to a restaurant, they're not funding their lives. That's the only thing they understand. Anything else is just BS. Anyhow, peace and blessings to you guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. With peace and performance.